Hey everyone, welcome back to Coffee with Crainer. Today I have a good friend of mine on the show, Councillor Renaldo Agostino in Ward 3, downtown Windsor. He's also the CEO of Element Entertainment. You may recognize him from his time downtown, opening many different bars and restaurants. And today we're going to be really talking about his passion for the Windsor community and all the great things he's up to. So
yeah, thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. The work continues for downtown Windsor.
Yeah, and well, maybe we'll start off with your private business first. How did you get into the entertainment industry?
Well, I guess it was coming out of university. I graduated from the U with a communications degree, and just like everybody else, you wait for the job offers to roll in, and you see what's happening. And I remember getting a job offer from, I think it was A&M Music, one of the big music labels in Toronto. It was like, hey, here's a job offer. And I looked at what they were offering me, and I looked at what I was making as a DJ at the time. And I was like, I'm moving back to Toronto from a city that I love being in now, to move back home and make less money than I'm making now and work more hours. I was like, forget about it. So, my brother and myself used to be DJs downtown, and the owner of the clubs that we were working for at the time got into some big trouble and had to surrender one of his liquor licenses and decided that he was going to sell it to my brother and myself, which became the Boom Boom Room. And we were in the hospitality industry, and, opportunities came up with partnerships with companies like Disco Donnie Presents and Live Nation, where, we started bringing big name artists to Windsor. And from that, it transitioned to opening up an entertainment company to do even bigger stuff. But, that is 0.00001 of what I do now. I have maybe one or two clients left that I do work for, and barely any, because I just don't have the time. My full-time schedule now, my entire life is dedicated to downtown Windsor, the municipality, to Ward 3. So that's what I'm doing right now.
And when you were in, had Boom Boom Room and all those other clubs, I believe Detroit had a really, and it still does, a really thriving electronic music industry, right? A lot of artists came out of Detroit and Windsor.
Well, the area has always been a hotbed for electronic music, but at the time, Detroit maybe had one or two places in general, and everyone was coming here, right? Windsor was the hotspot for hospitality, for entertainment, not necessarily Detroit. So there was a lot going on here, and those are different times. We're talking 20 years ago, but as far as the electronic music scene goes, we got in the early years before it became so mainstream. And, obviously our connections with, the Richie Hattons of the world and people that we knew. And, we had such deep-rooted connections with artists and agencies all over the planet, whether it was the Tiestos or the Ember Van Burens or the Benny Benassis. Like, we had all the biggest names in the world coming to Windsor, and it was a great time. And I think there's so many people to this day that will come up to me and say, hey, some of my greatest moments in my life was being at your club, seeing Deadmau5, or seeing Cascade, and I met my wife there. Like, there's so many great moments to remember.
Yeah. Anything from the entertainment business that you brought into your role as councillor?
Everything. I feel that life prepared me for today, for what I'm doing now, because, I get it all the time from people, and they say, man, you get a lot of hate, a lot of negativity, a lot of anger. And I'm like, listen, I used to have to throw people out of the bar at 3 o'clock in the morning, or tell them at 1:30 there's no more vodka left. Like, believe me, this is a walk in the park between being a business owner in the hospitality industry to being a politician. Like, there's nothing you can throw at me that I haven't seen, right? Whether it's, I've seen it all. I've seen it all 5 times. And, I've also, that life actually gave me the opportunity to meet a lot of people, right? So whether it's people in Windsor or any other parts of the region, I've met a lot of people, and I know a lot of people, and I'm able to help more people because I have that established connection. So it's been a really good transition for me. And like I said, I can't see a day where I ever go back to that world, but I still have a little bit of my fingers dipped in there.
Yeah.
And if the right opportunity comes along, like one of our last big shows was doing Tiesto at the casino, and if that opportunity ever came up to work with the casino and their team again, I'd probably say yes to it if that artist was right and I knew it would work. But right now,
do you say no to anything? Because you're a yes. Would you consider yourself a yes guy?
No, I wouldn't. I look at the opportunity. I look at the opportunity for success, but I don't say yes to everything. But I do still dabble in, like, that world has left me from financial perspective, but I still do so many events downtown with the BIA that I'm involved in, which I don't get paid for.
Yeah.
But it's still a big part of me, and I've used that platform to help revive the downtown in so many ways. Like, we're doing, whether it's boxing events, wrestling events, concerts, tribute bands, parades, like everything I learned in that world has now been shifted into this world. And I think it's been a huge advantage for me to be able to take that knowledge. Like, I just had a meeting with the Santa Claus parade people, and they're having some issues. Maggie's having some issues with TCPs and road closures. It's like, it's all good. I got you. I've done this 100 times. Like, so to be able to have that knowledge, to be able to help more people, and that help now helps the downtown core, I'm blessed to have it. So it's a big part of what I did today.
Yeah. And when you're in the bar business, club business, was there ever a favorite artist that you met?
Yes. I wouldn't say favorite. I'd say like the most interesting person I've ever worked with.
Yeah.
Hands down, Dennis Rodman. Hands down, Dennis Rodman. Because that is like, he's like just so, he was so out there, but so passionate about what he was doing. And then, of course, my other favorite would have to be Richie Houghton. Like, Richie is like, it's almost, when you watch him perform, it's almost like this guy's from another planet. You know what I mean? Like, his knowledge and his feel for the crowd and for the moment is, I hate to use the term in that analogy, and I'm sure he's going to hate to hear it too. The guy's a rock star. You know what I mean? When he's up there, he has this persona about him that it's just like next level. And, there's a ton, but I'd say those two for sure.
Very cool.
Are the two big ones that I probably won't forget.
And now moving into 2022, when you ran for office, what was driving you to run?
I think my passion for downtown, my passion for the ward, my passion for the city, having ideas and wanting things to get better, and knowing that I can work with different people and make things happen rather than, sit on the sidelines and watch things continue to deteriorate, because I was a business owner downtown at the time. I had invested my life into downtown, and, I wanted to see things get better. And so that was what really drove me, was to see things get better downtown.
And now you're coming up to the end of the term, a little less than a year. What have you enjoyed so far?
Geez, there's so much, but really, whether it's connecting with residents to try and help them solve issues that they think are unsolvable, you know what I mean? Working in the BIA has been, volunteering in the BIA, and being able to have input there have been, really, really big. And then, dealing with some of the social challenges and helping people that, no one has ever tried to help before, being part of those conversations and working with some of those people has been a really big highlight for me, because you can see that they appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. And for somebody that's looking to enter politics, anything they should be aware of before they start to run, any advice you could give?
The job is what you make of it, right? Like, you can be a counselor or a politician that shows up every 2 weeks, does the homework, does the reading, raises your hand, puts it down, but there's no playbook here. You don't get into office and say, hey, here's what your responsibilities are. You can work 24/7, 7 days a week, or you can work, 8 hours a week. No one is going to, the residents are going to judge you. But it's what you make of it. And for me, like, I look at things and I overstep all the time, because I have people that tell me, that's not your jurisdiction. That's not something you can do. But I don't care. Like, when I want something done, I'll find a way to figure it out to try and get it done, whether it's a municipal issue, a provincial issue, a federal issue. There's no filter for me. Like, I want to see things get done, and I'm on the ground. I'm not sitting in an office tower looking down upon the downtown core. Like I say to people all the time, I've soared with the eagles, but I've slid with the snakes, and I've seen it all. So
it's a good analogy.
Yeah, so I see things from a different light, because I'm on the ground running.
Was there anyone that instilled that work ethic in you growing up?
My mom.
Yeah.
My mom worked tirelessly to raise the three of us. Single parent, no car. So it was a struggle for her, and but she, there was not. I don't think I ever remember a moment where I saw my mother relaxing. Like, it wasn't in her.
I don't think I've ever seen you relax.
And, you know, that's where it comes from, right? And that's where it comes from. And it's the same with my brother, and it's the same with my sister. Like, I've never, and it's been tough because, you know, you're trying to build relationships with people or and people just don't get it. You know what I mean? They don't get it. They don't want, you don't know how to relax. Like, you can't sit and watch a movie. Like, that's not how that's not how I was raised. Like, I was raised in the struggle where you're always trying to eat. You know what I mean? You're always trying to get something done. You're always trying to survive. And I've taken that and applied it to here, and I would never change a thing. I would never change a thing.
And going back to the entertainment side, would you recommend somebody in today's environment consider opening up a bar, or club, or restaurant?
Absolutely, absolutely. You just have to have a different vision of what it's going to be like, and that doesn't just come down to the hospitality industry from downtown. It's even like, for example, we had the conversations, and luckily it got passed for it took 15 years, but when we had the conversations about Festival Plaza, what the future for Festival Plaza was, I'm glad I was in council because I was actually one of the initial people that was interviewed for what to do there, because I've worked there so often, and you've worked down there as well too. And when it comes to being a consultant to being now the councillor, the times have changed, and the idea of whether you're having a concert venue or a hospitality venue, and if you're going to get into the business to bring down big names and big acts, I would recommend you don't do that, because now Live Nation, Ticketmaster, they own these venues, whether it's the Fillmore or whether they have exclusive contracts with certain venues, or they built a venue in Toronto together with the municipality there. Opening to be in that line of business is probably not a direction I would recommend you going, but doing something different. Like it's everything goes around and comes around, and what's cool 20 years ago is not cool today. So you really got to have a grasp on what your customers are looking for, and then what you can actually accomplish, right? Because there's this notion out there that the customer's always right. Yeah, somewhat true, but you can't give them everything they want, because then you're out of business. You're still a business. So you have to have the idea to sell to them, to say, hey, this is my product. You want it. It's the best thing that's out there. You have to try what I'm selling you, rather than saying, hey, who do you want to see in Windsor? And that was a question that was always posed to us, was like, well, how come you just don't do a sheet and say who you want? Because someone's going to pick something that's unattainable, right? So, and I say that in my role as a counselor too as well now, because it's like, make sure you focus on what you can do, because the more time you focus on things that are out of your control, the less time you're going to have accomplishing the things that are in it. So, and I'm sure you go through that too, right? So it's it's a great business to be in, and I hope that more people look at opening up places, because post-COVID, it's been difficult for the hospitality industry to survive, whether it's a restaurant, a nightclub, a bar, or a movie theater, right? Like,
is there a certain type of hospitality business that you think would do well if somebody's considering? Like, if I'm coming to you and like, Renaldo, I want to open up a restaurant or bar, what should I do?
The restaurant business is booming right now. Not booming, but that's where I would put my 2 cents in, and say, okay, you know what, I'd be willing to invest in the restaurant industry, because it's a 7-day-a-week thing. The culture has changed where, people don't necessarily want to dance, all the time, whether it's because of fear of being caught on someone's cell phone, or, for whatever reason. It sucks. Sure. It sucks, right? But what people want to do these days is change, and the idea of sitting in a restaurant, having a nice meal, talking with people, sharing ideas, and the hours you can open, and plus, like, things have changed in the insurance world too. Insurance companies are very reluctant to insure bars and nightclubs anymore, because that's where problems happen, right?
Yeah.
So insurance companies, it's a line item now. Well, how many days a week are you serving food? Do you have a menu? What are you serving? Is it hot? Is it cold? And it makes a big difference on the bottom line on your insurance payouts too. So, or what you pay a monthly in insurance. So certainly the restaurant business is still a great business to get in. But if you got an idea, whether it's a niche product, like my friend Justin opened Deco downtown, and it's primarily an electronic music club, but it's niche, it's small, and it works, and it's a great, cool place to be. So depending on the size and the space, really, but yeah, it's a great industry to get in, and I certainly recommend people to do it.
Excellent. Going back to council, you got about 10, 11 months left.
Yeah.
What are you looking forward to the most?
Accomplishing, pulling off some goals when it comes to housing. I want to make a difference when it comes to housing, certainly community housing. And it's no secret. I'm on the community housing CHC right now, and I'm hoping to, be the chair of that committee as the new committee is selected, as the new board selected. And also, like it wasn't a campaign promise, but it's always been something that I've wanted to do, and I want to get the mission off of all that. Right? I want to find a better way to help people, but also to help rehabilitate the downtown. And it's just an absolute terrible location, and they agree with me, right? So I'd like to put that in the bank too. I'd like to put that in the bank too. So I'm sure it's not going to be moved by the time the next session comes, but I want to set the plate to make sure that the wheels are in motion for that to happen, and that is a TBC for now.
Excellent, excellent. Any final words for anyone that's watching, whether looking to jump into politics or entertainment industry?
Just love what you do.
Yeah.
If you love what you do and you don't look at it like as you're going to work, and you look at it as something you enjoy doing, do it. Right? Don't do something for money, or don't sell out for, because you're just going to be miserable. Like, especially for people that are like young and starting, like, take your time and figure out what makes you happy and what you want to do. And then, of course, like, don't move too fast, right? Because the quicker you move, sometimes you leave things behind. And that would be my message for sure.
Awesome. And how can folks get in touch with you if they want to learn more?
Social media, City Hall, my email. I think I am probably the most accessible politician of all time. So it's caused some issues, but it's easy to find me. And if you want me, I'm there.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for making the time, Councillor.
Good to see you, my friend. I think we shared your first beer together was with me, I think. Even though I know you don't drink. But
and I think it was.
I may have, Festival Plaza, I may have forced you to drink.
Yeah. I think it was during a whiff venture.
Yes, during the drive-in movies that we did. With Under the Stars.
Yep. So. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thanks so much for watching, guys. Be sure to follow Renaldo Agostino. He's everywhere on social media, constantly posting updates about downtown Windsor and all the exciting projects he's got going on. So